Today is apparently Stegosaurus Day, a day which I did not know existed until actually yesterday. Stegosaurus Day, it, I don't think it's anything official, really. It's more an event that I think the Morrison Museum puts on. Huh, I don't know for sure. Again, I just learned about it yesterday. But I thought it would be fun to sort of celebrate this day that I'd never heard of before. Especially, like, since Prehistoric Kingdom just added Stegosaurus to the game, well, to the public test build of the game yesterday, two species of them. I thought it would be fun, uh, fun as a bit of a celebration of Stegosaurus Day, to just go into Prehistoric Kingdom and build some enclosures for Stegosaurus. More specifically, to have myself, my mom, and my dad each build our own specific, like our own individual Stegosaurus habitats. Well, more accurately, I'd be doing the building and they'd talk me through it since they don't know the controls, I don't have to explain it to them, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, let me talk you through mine. So, my thought process when building this enclosure was was sort of to challenge myself, to try and build something that looked more naturalistic than my usual building style. Which, to be fair, I do try and keep my enclosures as realistic as possible in terms of like paleobotany and whether or not the enclosure has grass, because grass didn't really evolve until the Cretaceous, if I'm not mistaken. You can, and that's really all you can do in terms of full realism in this game, and as far as I know. But for this particular enclosure, I also wanted to try to have a river that looked like it had actually carved out, well, an actual riverbed. So that's what I did, focusing on, focusing more on the terrain and trying to have natural slopes, using different biomes terrain brushes to try and make it look like the ground was drying up the further out I went from the river, which I don't think I've ever done before. And I didn't know which species of Stegosaurus I wanted to have in my enclosure, so I just did both of them. Um, I also added some shade structures, and messed around with the new kinds of water. And yeah, it's kind of odd doing this in post because I don't know. I wanted to put all of my energy and thoughts towards building the enclosure when I was recording. So this time lapse that you're seeing right now is going to be a lot shorter than the time lapses. Well, not even the time lapses, than just the total amount of time either of my parents spent building. Can you tell I haven't scripted this section at all? Well, I mean, this whole video is unscripted, but at least when my parents were building, I had some sort of formula. But yeah, they're gonna hear me say this when and when my parents are building too. But I did kind of model this enclosure off of the the late Jurassic segment of When Dinosaurs Roamed America, because that's my favorite dinosaur documentary ever. And this is more or less what it looked like, especially in the dry season, just really dry. These specific trees whose names I don't know. Uh, no grass because grass hadn't evolved yet. But, and yeah, this is typically, at least in terms of foliage and terrain paints, how I design all of my Morrison formation enclosures. And I'll probably do it again and when the full update comes out in, I assume, just a couple of weeks. But I always like to do try and build just one big enclosure for all of the animals in a certain formation. I did it recently just for fun with all the animals that are available in the public test build, which is just all of the animals that were in the previous update plus these two species of Stegosaurus. But, it was still fun. And with all that being said, yeah, just here's my Stegosaurus just roaming around their enclosure for a bit. So, do you have a specific thought process for your enclosure design, or do you want to just go for it and make something that looks nice?
Just go for it.
Okay, so let's see what we can come up with. So, first, shape. Just talk me through it.
Choose the simple rectangle.
Okay. So, I think I'm going to do one here, one here, turn off curvature, and that's more than enough space. So now, which biome do you want to go with? Grassland, scrubland, or coastal?
Coastal.
Okay. So coastal. Well, first let me just clear out the pre-existing foliage. So I like to pick a sort of dominant terrain for them. So we've got grass, pine needles, rock, or substrate. Okay, so that'll be our sort of dominant texture. So I'll just fill that in everywhere. And then any secondary, like any grass, rock, substrate.
Yeah, some goodness.
Which the funny thing is that realistically, Stegosaurus evolved before grass. So they'll have no idea what this stuff is.
Hopefully they'll enjoy it.
I mean, so far it seems that these terrain paints don't have any impact on the animals' needs. It's just the actual foliage painting that affects it. To any rock or substrate.
Sure. Some rock.
Okay, what I like to do, and again, you don't have to do this, but I like to have the rock concentrated in like one spot as like a bit of a water hole.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Okay, where do you want it?
Right in the middle.
Okay,
It's not far.
and I'm going to fill this in with a little bit of substrate. And a few more patches of substrate on either side.
That sounds good.
So now, what kind of water do you want to put in there? I'm just going to make it...
What are the options?
Well, we've got natural, river, lagoon, swell, dystrophic, I think is how you pronounce that, and muddy.
Interesting.
And these are all new water types, by the way.
Oh. So let's start with natural.
Okay, and I can also show you a new feature. So that is your natural water. This is your river water. We can now change the water types just by clicking in a pre-existing area. So that's your river water. That is your lagoon water.
That's cool.
Next we have swell water.
Oh, interesting.
And this other water. And muddy water.
I actually like this trophy one.
Okay.
Already cool.
So next up, we actually have foliage, and these ones, the little ginkgo leaf icon in the corner. That is paleofauna, like fauna that existed like in the Mesozoic era. So that's the kind of environment they'd be used to. Although, actually, before we put that down, I'm going to actually place in our animals. So there's our male and our 4 females. And now if we just click on one, we need to fill up this forest to just anywhere in this white area. And the physically bigger the plant, the more it'll fill up. So something like coastal redwoods should fill it up pretty quick because, redwoods are massive. But we've also got Cretaceous electades forest. We've got ginkgos and seasonal ginkgos and just prairie. That's if you care about paleofauna. They'll also work well with just pines, fern forest, and non-Mesozoic prairie. The only benefit is you'll get more animal points.
Okay.
It's
So yeah, let's put some down.
okay. Well, which one do you want?
So,
Redwoods. Okay.
I'll put it. I didn't do the 5.
A little bit of all the paleobotany.
Yeah.
Okay. So the intensity is pretty low right now, so they should be pretty well spread out. And just like that, see, that's already an alpha.
Okay. Cool.
But you want a little bit of everything. So now let me up the intensity a little bit and add in these, however you pronounce that? Elattides.
Where?
Right there.
Oh. At the time, Simpson.
Something like that.
Oh, nice. They're tall.
Taller than the redwoods. And then throw in some ginkgos. Making sure we don't go into the red. Again, we're getting kind of close.
I've never seen that.
Over here.
Okay.
Some seasonal ginkgos.
Nice.
Just for flavor. And finally, some prairie. And that is pretty close to the maximum amount of forest that we can put in here. Of course, now we need to actually make sure that they have food.
Okay.
So we've got their water source. We'll just drink from that lake. And then for boring feeders, but there is also practical use so that you can have more animals eating from them. We've got these small troughs, the square feeder, and a big circle feeder. And we've also got a tall feeder, which can kind of blend into the forests and they'll like rear up to eat from it.
Nice.
The tall feeders. Okay. So I'll put one over there. And one over there. And just to be safe, I think I'll also put a circle feeder on each side. We've also got enrichment feeders, like these fake logs and stumps filled with plants. So, I really like the logs, but the stumps are also kind of fun. And then you can also put in nests for them to mate.
Okay.
I typically do like one nest per female, so that'd be 4 nests. And I know it's only been 10 minutes, but I'm still cautious on recording time. So if you wanted, you could also do something like I did over here and make these little shade structures.
Okay.
Actually, I could just copy these over.
I was thinking 10 minutes starting.
Well, I still want to show.
Yeah, you can copy those.
I was going to say I still want to show them actually wandering around the enclosure for a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll just focus on the male for now. Close this and unpause time. And just for the fun of it, let's do some cinematic camera. And he's phasing into a tree. So yeah, and let's also do a little first person.
Tall person?
I'd guess around your height, because I always just tend to assume that in any height example, unless specified otherwise, that the person is about your height.
Yeah.
Like
So-
around 6 foot.
I was thinking those would be much bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think. I mean, this one,
I thought we'd be like knee high.
yeah.
But we're looking at something.
Yeah.
So,
We're only about tail height, really.
yeah. We're pretty tall.
And keep in mind, I'm pretty sure, or I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is. I know one species is bigger than the other, but I feel like this is the bigger species. I'd have to actually compare side by side because.
It's still a cool view though.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out.
Watch out for the Thagomizer. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly go over to my exhibit to kind of compare because I have both in my enclosure. So I'm just going to pause time, and if I grab the Stenops, where is an Ungulatus? There's one.
Famed cartoonist Gary.
Not now, Nigel. So if I just grab an Ungulatus, I don't know if this is a male or a female, but yeah, it looks like Ungulatus might be a little bit bigger. I know one of them is larger than the other, and typically males are bigger than the females. Yeah, I tried to make my enclosure look more natural.
I like that.
Thank you, it's my first time doing something like that. I also threw in some rocks. There are some dead trees somewhere in here. These little hay bales and shade structures. But let's not focus on mine, let's focus on yours. I'll give mine find its own proper segment later. Here.
I think we're good, right?
Yep, I'm just doing one more pass around.
We're approaching 14 minutes in.
Yeah, I am aware. Again, I'm just going through. Yeah, you don't expect to, like, you make your own enclosures, like, whenever I do Morrison formation animals, like Stegosaurus, I always do the scrubland, because that's how it was portrayed in When Dinosaurs Roamed America, specifically the dry season. But you make something like this, and it works better than you'd thought.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, so you can send Mom down and she'll make hers. Yes. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop this bit now.
Cool. Thanks.
So, as we start building, do you have a specific thought process going into this, or do you just want to make something that just looks nice?
Well, something that looks nice and is as realistic, I guess, as possible to where they would have naturally lived.
Okay. So, any particular shape in mind?
Oh, circular-ish, but not a circle. So round,
Okay.
roundish rather than square.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a perfect circle.
I think I'm gonna make something like a peanut shape,
That's good.
or at least I'll try to, because I've got angle snap turned on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the round family more than the square family.
Just gotta. I think it's bugging me. There. More of a bean shape.
Bean. We have bean. Bean is good.
So we're doing coastal. So first, gotta clear out all this other vegetation. So what I like to do is start with a like primary base texture. So since we're going for realism, these guys are from the Jurassic, so grass wouldn't have evolved yet.
Okay.
So do you want the base to be pine needles, stone, or substrate?
Which one goes best with the coastal trees?
As all of them, because these are the coastal paints.
Let's do. Can't decide between the pine needles and the
Substrate?
substrate.
Well, again, this is just the primer. We're going to cover it up with some of the others anyway.
Let's go with the substrate then.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do as well. So, just gonna layer this all over the grass. And then I like to do kind of patches of pine needles like that. Kind of blend in a bit, but you can still see the difference, right?
Gives a little bit of texture instead of just the kidney bean.
Yeah.
Now it's more like a pinto bean.
I don't know my beans that well, so
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Kidney beans are sort of solid dark red, and pinto beans are sort of red, light red and dark red splatters. Speckled.
Any stone in there?
Bits.
Typically, what I personally like to do with stone, but again, this is your enclosure, is I like to have stone in like one area to kind of represent a watering hole.
Okay.
So is that good stone?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, just to know how much force to give them, I'm going to place them in now.
Okay.
Also, actually, I don't know if I want to tell you this or if I want to have it, but, like, be a surprise in the full video.
Your call.
I'm not going to say it, but it is funny.
Okay.
So now I just click on this one, and you know the drill with this. First, we need to fill up the forest.
Yep.
There. So, well, paleobotany or just regular botany, like modern plants. Well, you want accurate for that.
Accurate,
So,
right.
do you want redwoods? How do you pronounce that? Ginkgos, or prairie, or a mix?
A mix.
Okay, which one which one do you want to start with then?
Redwoods, you're fine.
Okay, do you want a mix of all of them, or just a mix of specific ones?
I like the redwoods, and I like this.
How do you pronounce that?
Yeah.
So which of those two?
Yeah, with a little bit of prairie.
Okay. So, redwoods going down first. Is that good?
I think so.
And now some of the, no idea how to pronounce it. Okay, so that's enough forest already, but let's throw in the prairie there too. Just to kind of spice things up.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, the issue of food and water.
Okay.
We have our usual enrichment, but have to take it from me as I've been doing a little bit more challenge mode lately. Just enrichment logs, like some stumps, will not be enough to sustain like bigger groups.
Okay.
For that, you'll probably want these big feeder dishes. Like we've got a trough, we've got this 4-meter tray, and then the big circular one. But Stegosaurus can also eat from the taller board feeders. Like they'll probably rear up on their back legs to do it.
Okay.
I've seen them do it sometimes.
I don't know how they're going to reach the top, but
No, not
take your word for it.
like not the tippy top.
Okay.
There's plants all. See, they can rear up to reach a little bottom bit there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So we can stick one of those in, and a couple of the logs and the stumps, and then a big round feeder if we need all of that.
Okay, I'm gonna put the tall one here. I'm gonna put the round one here. I'm also gonna put a large water dish. Although we could also just make a lake for them to drink from too, if you wanted.
Yeah, I prefer a lake.
Okay,
There's some sort of water feature. They'll drink from it.
they will. So, where do you want your water feature?
Center-ish, like in this kind of empty area where you're going to put the circular water feeder.
Okay. Do you want natural? Oh, first let me just make the shape. Just using natural for now. So, do you like the natural look, or do you prefer river? Lagoon? Swell?
So far, I'm liking natural.
Dystrophic?
No, not that one.
Then I'm guessing you're also not gonna like muddy.
No.
Natural?
Natural.
keep the plants in there or take them out?
Out. That's better.
And you want any stone in there or just leave it as is?
We'll put a little bit of stone in.
Okay. And
Although it doesn't really look like stone, though. It's kind of like algae, but that's fine.
if they've got a specific brush for algae and water plants like that. So some stumps.
Yeah.
But those were the logs. Now it's the stumps.
Okay.
And I assume nests as well.
Nests. Gotta have the nests.
We've got 4 females, so that means
4 nests.
4 nests. So now let's resume time and see them wander around for a bit.
Okay. What's their breeding time?
Their breeding time is blocked by a Camtasia. Give me a second. It's past. They breed in March and April. So we won't see any natural babies during this recording session.
Oh,
And that's okay.
that's fine.
I know, you like to see babies.
I like to see the babies.
I can show you the babies later.
Okay.
Just when we're not recording. Unless you want to just make some babies in the actual.
No. I don't know. We'll just wait for the natural babies.
Yeah, but that'll be a while. Because again, I'm keeping an eye on the recording time and space and all that.
Right. You've seen that here, no? Nobody's
Yep.
fighting.
Well, fighting isn't even fully added yet, so.
Oh, I meant, everybody seems happy.
Mhm.
What's he doing?
I believe, well, it says he's watching over group, but I believe he was browsing. Yeah, now he's just watching over the group. And those two are just phasing into each other. Yeah, they're just roaming, idling, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I usually make my enclosures with like the scrubland, because that's closest to how it was. And not just with Stegosaurus, with any dinosaurs from the Morrison Formation, because that's kind of how it was shown in When Dinosaurs Roamed America, specifically the dry season. But then you make an enclosure like this, and it's just, you don't expect it to work as well as it does.
They're very well camouflaged. When they're in shadows.
Yeah. Like, it's not T-Rex camouflage.
No, but I meant, like, now you can see them, but when they're in the shadows of the trees.
Yeah. And granted, these trees aren't terribly densely packed.
Right.
Okay, I think I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yep. I'm just watching them.
Yep, so am I. So, I'm going to stop the recording and then sort of record them just wandering around my habitat, and then I'll finish the video.
Sounds good.
Yep. Hey guys, this is me after editing this whole thing. Rather minimal editing, honestly. I was hoping to get this out, like, on Stegosaurus Day, but as I'm recording this little outro, it's past midnight, only 3 minutes, but still. So by the time you're seeing this, it's not actually going to be Stegosaurus Day, unfortunately. He, like I said, I wanted to get it out on the 25th, on Stegosaurus Day, but due to technical issues and just putting it off for so long, not sure why I did that, not entirely sure anyway. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this little building type video. This is my first time making a video like this. Yes, and also I'm pretty sure my first time making a video with so little editing. But yes, I am definitely going to post this. I do have a bunch of other projects, some of which are nearly done, that I've been meaning to post, that I've wanted to get done for a while. Well, I am going to finish those up and get those posted sometime. I don't know when, because my attention span is a goddamn mess, but outro. I was supposed to be doing an outro. Just, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can put up with bad mic quality and all the other technical stuff. Again, I did not put very much editing thought into this, because I wanted to get it done within the day. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Just I hope you liked the video. I hope you like whatever Stegosaurus footage is playing behind me right now. Well, not behind me, but playing over this, or that this is playing over, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.